Ann had sent me a note yesterday that said, explain to me exactly what you all are going to learn. Oh my gosh. Management, leadership, team building, motivation, coaching, delegation, project planning, organizing, and training employees. And then when I just heard that you have 294 and a half years of experience, okay, I should sit down and let you all talk to me. So this is really cool. So I think the first thing I'd like to say is just congratulations on being in this program and doing what you do for the university. And what she was talking about, the direct reports you have and how you touch people, the number of people you are touching goes into the thousands. And that's the fun part about leadership, and it's also the scary part. And I think sometimes what happens is when you take a step back, and for me, and I'm speaking from my experience, sometimes when I take a step back and think of all the people that I'm responsible for and or attitudes developing, it can be a little overwhelming. And especially, there are some, and you all know this, with as much experience as you have and what you already are doing, there are just some really bad days where you work with some people that are very selfish. You feel like you've given everything you can, and it's just not working. And you go, why am I doing this? But there are bigger moments that one little thing happens, one person says thank you, or you see a staff unit, a group of people take a step up and get better. And whew, is that cool? And I have been totally blessed for over 30 years to have gotten to officially function in a situation where I'm getting to help build teams. For a long time, it was kids, because I was a coach. So the primary people I was working with were 18 to 22-year-olds. And to see, and to get them to work together as a unit was just unbelievable. When I made the transition from being a coach to being an administrator, one of the things that really scared me is, how do you work with older people? And a lot of the people, when I first started, were older than I was. How do you do that? What was wonderful was that the same skills that I had used in coaching and building teams for 18-year-olds was the same thing that 45-year-olds needed. They needed direction, they needed a plan, they needed a kick in the tail, they needed some loving. It was the same thing. And I think that sometimes there's a perception that, oh, well, yeah, you're in athletics, so you guys are all about building teams. That's not my life. Baloney. From the moment we're born, from the moment you're born, you are a part of a team. Your family's first. That's a team. And then typically probably something at church or school when you start school. And then, it just keeps progressing until you're in the situation that you are now, that you have your own team to lead. So the ability to be a good team member and or leader is essential in today's life. I have 4 younger brothers, and my middle brother went to Annapolis. He was extremely bright. And he now is a COO of a big company, and it's a high-tech company, a computer deal, and they spend a lot of time trying to recruit people from Harvard, MIT, and all that. But he told me at Christmas this year, he said, forget that. He said, what we're starting to look for are people that have a background either as a student athlete or something in athletics, because they know how to work with teams. And he said they know how to handle the pressure, they know how to multitask and do a number of things at one time. He said, and some of these real bright people with all these degrees cannot function. So having this ability is extremely important, and we need it at every walk in life. Ann had asked me today to talk to you a little bit about the team building and just some leadership things. And I'm assuming, what time do I need to cut this off? Do we have a...
You can take as much as you
Well,
like.
okay, all right, I'll be careful.
Not till noon. Not till noon.
But if anybody says amen, I will go 30 more minutes. So I'm a real Southern Baptist, and I can get wound up and going. So I'll try to be careful. I wish I could express in some, when I got home early this morning and to see what those two universities have in facilities, knowing we are working so hard right now because we do not have facilities. But then when I looked at the group of young people and coaches we had last night working, we had the best team on the floor last night. Mm-hmm. And we had the best coaches. And we were in this $80 million brand new building and video boards and blah, blah, blah. And, we need that too, but the most important thing we need is we already have, and that's the heart and soul of the program, and that's the people that are doing the right things. We toured the $100 million new football building at North Texas, and I said, so what did you guys average this year? And they've had football for years and years. I said, 18,000. And they said, well, great. And I went, we averaged 35,000 in our first year. Yeah, so there are, it's just an unbelievable, when you can get a group of people to buy in what your vision and your purpose is, what you can accomplish, regardless of the resources you have, is just unbelievable. And the kicker on all this is that you guys have got to really believe in what you're doing. I've been very blessed to have been put in situations that I really have a passion for. And if you have that passion, no matter what your salary is, no matter how bad your hours are, you're going to do really, really well. Okay? So, I think one thing, and when you talk about leadership and building teams, a lot of it determines on how well you are functioning as an individual. And the first thing is, I can't imagine not wanting to be the best you can be. If you don't have a little bit of that personal drive that you want to really be good at what you're doing, and you say, well, I want to, but I'm really not in this particular position, well, I'm sorry. That's the way the world works. You've got an opportunity. You need to take advantage of it and do the best you can with this opportunity, because if you will do that, there will be other opportunities that come. You're not going to get new opportunities if you are sitting there looking for your next job all the time and not paying attention to the job you have now. I have a person on my staff right now who is outstanding. It's really, really good. But this person has gone, and we've paid quite a bit of money, I've been very cooperative with this, has gone to more seminars and training and read books and all that because they want to be me. They want to be the AD. They spent more time trying to get my job than taking care of their job, so therefore the opportunities have not come. And it's really hard to sit down and explain because in their mind, they're just trying so hard. They're doing everything they could, and I'm not getting the breaks. You gotta make your breaks. And you make your breaks with the position that you currently have in doing the very best job that you can. You want to be number one. That is not an athletic thing. That is how you live your life. That is our purpose. That is our role. That's why we were created. We were not created to be mediocre. And I don't care whether you're, if you have the opportunity just to be a stay-at-home mom, if you own your own business, I don't care what it is. You need to be number one. Leadership is all about building teams, as I said before. And for those of you that have ever been and you all have, look at the hours of service here, the years of service. But think back to the greatest teamwork experience you've ever had. And reflect on that. And then the goal is to try to copy that each time you get a new task or a new opportunity. the greatest teamwork experience I've ever been through was building a football program and putting that first game on the field this year. That was the greatest experience I have ever had working with groups of people in the over 30 years of being in this profession. The communication, the collaboration, the creativity, and how everybody connected together was unbelievable. And it wasn't just people in the athletic department. It was people across the campus, particularly in student affairs. It was city government, county government, the dome staff. And the night that we had that first pep rally on the Riverwalk before that game, it hit me that we were not just having a first football game, we were making a major impact on a major city. Because the people that came to that pep rally were not just UTSA people, but they were people that had never connected with us before. And it wasn't just cheering, it was people crying. We had found a niche, we had found a need. And because everybody had come together, and we had worked 2 years to get ready for that first game, 2 years for one game. It was an unbelievable process. Now the challenge we have is how do you sustain that, and how do you get the emotion, and how do you get everything up again? That's going to be the challenge. But it was a great experience. To me, a team, a definition of a team is a diverse group working toward a common goal, acting together for success, and then handling the end result, whether it's success or what some people might deem as failure, as a team. You know, just setting the goal and working toward it, it doesn't end there. Then you got to handle it together, good or bad, because you don't, at the end of the process, you don't have a team if part of the team standing around saying, "What, me?" You know, that transfer of blame stuff. No. Or at the end, if it was a great success and everybody's walking around, "Hey, I'm pretty good," you know, and you forget everybody else. So it's a full process of working through this whole experience. And like I said a while ago, it can be very an overwhelming task because of the number of people that are going to depend on you. I think sometimes people have the wrong idea that when you get in a leadership position and you have a unit under you, that you step back and relax, that you kind of made it. You know, bring the car up, you know, open the door for me. It's just the opposite. When you get into positions of leadership, now you have to work harder. You work harder than your staff, not less. If you want to sustain your leadership role. Now, if you don't want to sustain it, sure. You know, have a few months where you just kind of kick back and enjoy it, and then very quickly somebody else will be there to take your place because you're not going to be functioning. Okay. To try to narrow this down, so I'm not here all day with you, which I would love to do. I could talk about this forever. But I think if there are four primary qualities that help you to be successful as a team member, but as a leader. There are 4 things, and this is not very creative. I call them the 4 Ps. It's